Michael. I'm here in my room. We're going to talk about script breakdown today. So once you've finished writing a super awesome story and rewriting it and rewriting it and rewriting it and revising it until it's perfect and polished and all ironed out, you're going to need to know all of the elements that go into it, and you're going to need to figure out a way to get them all, sorry about that, in the same place at the same time. You know, a movie is totally like a machine. It's like a machine with a lot of moving parts, and some of them are conscious human beings and animals and things like that. So it's important to keep track of all those elements. And that's what the script breakdown process is. For me, it's a totally different thing than writing. With writing, I'm able to think about, like, the soul, like the human soul, what does this mean? Think in symbolism and poetry and things like that. With this, it's very structured, and so it's been a little difficult for me because I kind of tend to be more in the abstract realm. But I'm wearing a lot of hats for this project, and that's okay. I'm learning, and it's actually been a really great process for me. One thing you're definitely going to need for this is some sort of, got some colored pencils here, some colored pencils, highlighters, something where you can go through the script and mark down all the different elements, differentiate between them. So let's see if I can remember this correctly. Red is going to be like a new character in the scene. So right here, writer 2, this is the first time writer 2 speaks. So I underline writer 2, right, in red. So that way when I'm going through and then when I need to list all the characters in this scene, I don't have to go looking around, I just can scan for red. It's pretty much, that's why we do it. Let's see, pink. Pink is animals, vehicles. Animals or vehicles, things that you might need to get from somewhere else, need to wrangle, Green, now, okay, so in this document, which I'll post in the description, in this document that I got, it said green is like silent extras, I think. I said forget about that because there was no character, or there was no category for furniture or stuff that you need around the environment to see. So I did stuff like furniture or pictures on the wall I underlined in green, or like what color the wall is, you know what I mean? Let's see, blue is like any special effect, anything that you're going to have to take that shot and fix it up in post and do some kind of a crazy thing with it, that's going to be blue. Brown is like sound cues, or if you have a song that comes in at a certain point in the scene, or even little things like I underlined a lot of stuff in brown for this script because some things you don't know, you might want to plan to shoot Foley or record Foley for something that you might not expect, whatever. He knocks on the door. Now maybe you can pick that up like right on set, but maybe not. Maybe it sounds better to re-record it. So knocks on the door, right? Those words, knocks on the door. I'm going to go through, underline in brown. Other things, gunshots, a voiceover that isn't in the scene necessarily. I need to breathe. I need to remember to breathe, y'all. Jimmy Crumbus. Yellow is for like extras. So that's what I was doing for extras. I think in the original document, like I said, it was like extras who talk and extras who don't talk. And I was like, forget about that distinction. So all my extras were yellow. So if there's like a big group of people, it's just like, dude walks into a big group of people. Underline big group of people in yellow. That way when you're scanning through it again to input all the information and all these sort of lists, you'll know what you're dealing with. Orange is like stunts, which is basically anything, I know it doesn't look orange, I know it looks blue, but it's orange. Anything where the actor is going to be doing anything other than standing, sitting, or laying down, basically. So if the character is running, dude runs down hall, right? Dude runs down street. Those are two things that happen in this script. There's lots of running down streets. Purple, you'll notice I didn't have a purple colored pencil. Oh. This camera right now is on an ironing board with some plywood on top of it, so it's very precarious. Purple is props. Anything that the actor comes into physical contact with and manipulates is a prop. So even if they pick up a fork, if they let's see, you know, shit, if they're reading a book, you know, that's a prop. I think there's other elements too that I actually don't have here. Let's see. Maybe not. Maybe no colored elements. But then you got, like, you go through with a pen and you'll, like, what I did is I circled every costume element. So anytime it mentions something where, you know, dude's wearing a jacket, go and circle jacket so that you don't get to this, you know, shoot. The jacket's a very important part of the script, and everyone goes, oh, where's the jacket? You know, we don't have a jacket. That's not good. And then anything where I want to make a special note about it, I'll underline in the script and I'll write a note in the margin. So what I found this super cool document, and we'll go through the document and sort of list out, or go through all the different properties of it. But the document is really helpful. It's got the legend for all these colors, so you don't have to remember it off this video. And then it also has a document, like a sub-document within it. You can make a sub-document for each scene. We'll go over the document later. Alright guys, so this is the document I was telling you about. There are some sub-documents within it. I'm not sure if sub-document is the proper term, but they're right down here, right? The first one is your legend, so it's the corresponding colors that you would use while you're underlining things in the script. So red things are talent with spoken lines of dialogue, right? We have orange, possible stunts. I changed green to things like furniture or decoration. Brown, sound effects, etc., right? And then I copy-pasted the breakdown sheet for every scene in the movie, right? So we'll go to, like, let's see, scene 1. Is that right? Let's say scene 2. Okay. So, scene 2, what do we got here? Well, we've got the scene number. We have, like I was telling you, the number of eighths of pages that are on it. Let's see, what else? The scene name, whether it's interior, exterior, whether it's a night or day shot, what location you'll be at. You'll want like a description of the scene as well, so you know kind of what happens when you're shooting it. And then all the different elements here you plug in. So I had something underlined in orange in the script, right? He's driving recklessly. We might need to be a little bit more careful about that. We have our cast members. Pretty sparse here for this scene. And then any production notes, any things that you'll definitely need to keep in mind while you're planning the shoot, put there, right? So we literally have a breakdown sheet for every single scene in the movie, right? We just, you know, we need to be aware of all that stuff, okay? So we want to break the script up into manageable pieces so that we know, instead of saying, okay, this scene is one page and almost a half, we can say, well, it's 1 page and, you know, 1/8. 1 page and 1/8 gives us a little bit better of an idea of how long it is and how much of the script it takes up, right? In order to do that, we need to break it down into eighths, right? Pretty simple. There might be some sort of a special way to do this, but all I did is I just did a line in the middle, and then I did a line in between that and the top of the page, and then I did another line. I'm sure you're getting where this is going. It's basic fraction stuff. But then you have a clearly divided page, right? Now, I haven't really seen the benefit of this. I don't know exactly how this is going to play out, but I'm sure there's going to be a point where I go, that's cool, I'm glad that I did that, because now, yada, yada, yada. You know, right now I'm just kind of doing it because I was told in similar videos to this to do that, so I'm doing it. You're also going to want a pencil. Damn. They're going to want a pencil. It's crazy how sharp these things get, you know? to make more lines. This time not horizontal lines. This time they're going to be vertical lines. And what this line indicates is basically where is the camera focusing? Specifically, if we're hearing something, are we seeing it? If a character is speaking, is the camera on them or is the camera on something else while they're speaking? So the way that you indicate that is with a little squiggly line by their name if the camera is not on them. If it is on what's being described, then we'll keep moving down. But if it isn't, we make a little note because something has to be there, right? Something has to be on the screen. So we know all the parts where, in editing, something else is going to go over the audio, if that makes any sense. So it looks a little something like this. We'll do one page. So you see we've gone from the top of the page, drawing this line down. When the line is straight, that means that the camera is pointed at the person who's talking. But here, when Soren says pre-cum, this is not a family-friendly movie, guys. When Soren says pre-cum, it's squiggly because we're going to have the camera on Allie. But then she's going to say yes, and then we're going to cut back to Soren. You see that? And then we have another squiggly line when he says for billions and billions of years, right? Because the camera's not going to be on Soren. So that just lets us know that, well, something is going to have to be there, right? So you go through and you do that for every page. So when you've completed the breakdown, you're going to have a bird's eye view of the script, or at least more so than when you started the breakdown. You're going to know every element that goes into making your script a reality, and you're going to have a document for each scene that lists out every element that needs to be in place at that specific time to make that scene a reality. The next thing that you're going to get into is scheduling, which I haven't started on yet. So as we move forward with scheduling, I will keep you guys updated. You know, I'll make the scheduling video, and it will be definitely a totally learning process. It's I forget which brain is which, but it's the other side of the brain that I don't necessarily resonate with. So it'll be a challenge, but I look forward to it. If you haven't seen the other video, it's on script. It's on sort of the writing process. I'll post a link to that in the description, possibly. Maybe it'll be floating around my head somewhere. We'll see. But and then we have a video about crowdfunding coming up, and let's see what else. I might do a video on casting. I'll keep you guys posted. Subscribe if you haven't, and share this, please. That's so helpful. If you can share this, if this was of value to you, share with other filmmaker friends. Yeah, that would be very helpful. But have a wonderful day, and I will see you all later.